Before traveling to your game day destination this football season, be sure to download the M.Dot Traffic app to help you reach the game safely by checking ahead for crashes, closures, and construction with M.Dot Traffic app. Available free for both Apple and Android devices.
All right, so unusual week, kind of having to put 3 days into one. We're only going to practice once this week, so that's highly unusual and quick turnaround with the morning format practice. So pretty challenging. Don't have practice update for you because I'm not out there. Practice is still going, so unusual not to be able to give you a whole lot of info on that, but good to play at home. Really hope our crowd comes out. Hope people don't sit and say, well, we'll just wait for SEC games. Having a crowd is impactful to your players, to their performance. It's impactful to recruits when recruits come into the stadium. So really urge fans to come out. Excited for the first walk that we've had through the Grove. First time actually stepping foot in the Grove. So personally excited for that. But we need people to come out. And, everybody wants a top 25 program. Well, let's put an atmosphere like a top 25 program so players feel that and recruits see that as well.
All right, John, start us off.
Hey, Lane, just wanted to get a kind of update on how you're feeling and how you've kind of progressed through this.
I feel great. 0 symptoms. Feel 100%. I guess you don't need doctors with these loop bands. Looking back over the numbers, kind of crazy that before I even knew I had it, recovery percentages were down in 20s, and then the day after I got it, my recovery was 1%. So this morning I was at 90. So kind of crazy that this little thing, there's a Whoop commercial for you, Whoop. But and I actually remember reading in the PGA Tour how they were using them to find COVID before it was happening. So that's crazy, but I'm doing great.
We'll go to Michael.
Hey, Lane. Scotty Walden, I believe, is the youngest coach in college football right now at 31. I believe you were the youngest coach back in 2008 when you were at Tennessee. What were some of the biggest challenges as a young coach, and what are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned in the last 13 years or so? And do you have any advice for Scotty on how to be a successful young coach?
Well, I think the first time the Raiders part was extremely challenging because you have players that were older than you, when you're dealing with NFL. But in general, I think, relying on people that have done it before and have a good staff around you. And there's no recipe to create experience. And I've learned that that's life. That's coaching, parenting, whatever your job is, it takes experience to go through things and learn how you'll handle them. You can read, you can, kind of channel what you remember of people you worked with and things come up. That's helpful, but a lot of times you got to go through it and figure it out on your own. So I would say just really utilizing people's opinions and people that have done it before.
David.
Okay, yeah. Lane, we saw Kel Nation attempt the first PAT in the game Monday night. Then it was Caden Costa from there on out. Just what you thought of Caden's performance. Kid was in high school less than a year ago, and for him to step up like that under that kind of pressure.
Yeah, that was awesome. It ain't like he got to start off with a chip shot. So, knew he was really talented, obviously. And so it was great to see him go in, perform like he did, and gave us more confidence as the game grew. So that's, you never know with true freshmen what's going to happen, regardless of how they practice. So Probably him and Taishim were, the really bright spots of guys that went in and looked like they've been doing it for a long time.
We'll go to Nick.
Lane, you talked a little bit after the game about the couple of targeting penalties. Just from when you went back and watched the tape, did you see anything that maybe you didn't see live? And do you address that with the team at all, or do you kind of tell them to keep playing the same way?
No, I mean, we're not stupid. We're not going to get penalties. So, unusually, for the first time, I was able to see it better watching TV than I was in the game or on watching the coach's tape. So, we've obviously emphasized it, talked a lot about it this morning to them in the team meeting. Rules are what they are. So you can disagree with them all you want, but they're rules. So you got to change. And, that can be done. There's going to be sometimes, the game isn't in slow motion. So, when people want to say, oh, it's easy to enforce the rule. Well, guess what? The game's not played in slow motion or rewind. So when that happens in a split second and the guy lowers his helmet, so the target moved, okay, it's a little difficult. So, when someone wants to say the rule has been in place forever, it should be really easy to coach. Well, it ain't in slow motion and we don't get instant replay to change our mistakes. So the player can't go back when he screws up and misses his assignment and does the wrong thing. You don't get instant replay to change.
Go to Parrish.
That was kind of a long-winded answer for you.
Hey, Lane, what is Taiwan Malone's development like at this point? And do you see him becoming a factor for you guys on the line there?
I hope so. He was set back with injury, and so really had not practiced very much. Anticipate him practicing more and hopefully playing this week. We need him.
Go back to John.
Lane, what would you kind of want to see your team kind of sharpen offensively on Saturday? And what type of, small steps would you want to see them make in that contest at home this week?
Penalties. Way too many penalties, crucial penalties in the game that cost us a lot of yards and points. And defensively, to finish the game better, we have 2 4th downs where we're not aligned right that are touchdowns there. So I think we let up a little bit. Obviously, look at the yardage in the first half and points compared to the second half, and we were still playing our normal guys. So, we got to finish better.
Go back to David.
Lane, just kind of following up on that, I guess just the obligatory question of your thoughts on this Austin Peay team. They did beat Chattanooga last weekend.
Yeah, and they played really well since that coaching change last year and the strange season with the spring season. So they're playing really good. They are challenging on defense and offense. So they play really, really hard. So we're going to have our hands full, and we got to improve from week 1 to week 2, and we've got a lot shorter week than they do.
Back to Nick.
You talked about this a little bit. In your mind, what was the cause of the defense kind of letting up there in the second half?
I don't know. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes. Not an excuse. It shouldn't happen. But, it's the same thing when, you look at a score and you got 42 points at half. Well, you don't usually score 84 points. So, sometimes it happens a little bit. And, we self-inflicted, like I said, 2 4th downs that we can stop them, and we're not aligned right. And they scored 2 touchdowns. And then we kept drives alive with crucial penalties. So good thing is we did limit explosive plays for the most part, even in the second half.
Orlando, first game with Ole Miss. Just kind of take us through your emotions of getting out there with a new team. Was it weird looking around and not seeing Utah guys that you've been with for all that time? What is kind of going through your head when you took the field for the first time?
Just ready to go to war with a new team. I know they have my back. I had theirs. And yeah, excited playing this new league. Blessed.
First off, how do you feel? We know you went through some injury stuff early in camp. Just how are you right now?
I feel I'm good. All right. I'll be ready.
Did you feel anything at all during the game, or was it just kind of adrenaline took over?
Yeah, adrenaline took over. Just worrying about my assignments.
Can you kind of talk us through what it was that drew you to Ole Miss?
That drew me? Just this program, the great program, all the good people that came here, and yeah.
Any other questions for Orlando? I'll go again. Just playing in this offense, we hear a lot about the tempo and the conditioning that kind of the offensive linemen need to go through. Was that a challenge playing in this first game? Did you feel it at any point, or were you prepared for playing in that tempo?
I feel like we was all prepared, but yeah, the first drive was a little long, but yeah, after that it was good.
Yeah, I think 500, almost 600 yards of total offense for you guys in that first game. How would you kind of rate the offense's performance, and what are some areas you think you guys can get better?
I feel like we're 7 out of 10 right now. We just need to clean up penalties, assignment stuff, and just finish more. Like, don't get relaxed at the end. Just keep the gas on the pedal.
So what does a 10 out of 10 look like?
Being perfect. As close as perfect you can be. No penalties. And yeah, more points on the board.
Just, if you don't mind, start by talking us through your game. Obviously, a 9-catch, 170-something yard game has to probably feel good. Did you expect that from yourself, or did you kind of surprise yourself?
I kind of surprised myself. I didn't know I was going to get that many targets, but every chance I got, I made a play.
Did you see yourself being that involved in the game plan in practice, or did you just kind of find ways to get open?
I feel like I was just getting open and all.
I don't think we talked to you since camp started and whatnot. You had a decision to come back. I'm curious what kind of went behind that and why you thought it was important for you to come back for another year.
I kind of feel like it was important because I don't think I put as much in as I did. So I kind of feel like since I had got the COVID year to come back, so I thought I should do that.
You're playing in the slot and in the H a little bit more this year. Kind of what makes you a good fit there? Why do you think you're thriving over the middle?
I feel like I'm a bigger body, make a bigger target as I'm playing in the slot. I feel like I'm stronger and physical.
When you had all those catches without getting into the end zone, were you kind of itching to finally get that touchdown at the end? And was it kind of a relief when you did finally score once?
Can you repeat it?
Was it finally a relief when you did score after catching 8 or 9 passes without getting in?
It felt good. I feel like the one that they took away from me, so they called another one for me, and I finally got in there, and it felt good.
We've gotten to see you throw a bunch. Where does this arm talent of yours come from? Just were you a high school quarterback at all, or you just got a strong arm?
I started playing quarterback when I was in Pee Wee, and it just moved on up, and everybody got to see me throw. And I started playing quarterback my 9th grade year, and I got moved up to high school to play quarterback for the backup. So that's how that got up there.
Dontario, can you just compare the chemistry between you and Matt from last year to this year?
I feel like we got a strong chemistry. I make plays at practice, so they put trust in him that I make plays in the game for him. So I think that's where the chemistry comes from.
I want to go back to the passing just a moment. We talked to Braylon here recently, and he thinks that he should be the first option out of the wide receiver room to throw the ball. Do you agree or disagree?
No, I disagree on that. I think I should be the first one to make a throw.